Hello, hello, and welcome back for another astounding adventure in the blasted basements and crumbling cellars of Perfidious Manor in Darkest Dungeon. Though the astounding part of that last statement may be highly questionable, if last episode is any indicator at least. The only excitement we found last time was, basically scrounged up as the result of my own hubris. And while I can't say I have any immediate intention of taking a stupid and self-destructive action, like betraying my mistress until she weaves a poison cloak and crown and puts it on my wife and children, it is kind of an ever-present danger. I mean, the only thing hubris is better at than concealing itself from the person who is filled with it is sustaining itself with a general feeling of goodness and well-being and positive intentions. And I have to say, after the success of our last veteran mission, I am feeling pretty confident. Probably about as confident as Zane from One Direction felt when he decided it would be a good idea to slaughter the fatted calf and just strike off on his own. I mean, there's a guy who knows something about hubris. But I guess they say, well, actually nobody says it except me, but I say, it's everybody but the fool himself who can see the cataclysm yawning at the fool's feet, and he's just going to walk right off of that cliff unknowing, though the rest of the world screams at him to stop, and I think that's pretty much the exact roller coaster I'm on, so let's head down to the embarkation joint and, well, let's go one direction on this shit. We really need to level the Warrens. I can't help but feel that we need to level the Warrens because it's still level 0, so we can't go after the one boss we have left. That being said, we certainly can't do a champion mission, so that's right the hell out the door. Don't mind doing veteran missions, however. We could try for the regular hag. I don't know as we're ready for that necessarily. A medium mission to activate 3 infected corpses that has a very, 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 very good trinket. That's quite interesting. Also a good number of deeds and crests, both of which we need. What do you have? Oh, that's the Necromancer. We potentially could take the Necromancer. No, we should probably wait until we've got some troopers at level 4 with more upgrades before we tackle that. So let's roll on this. I'm liking the detoxify corpses. I think we can handle this. Sure, Sir Roderick has more than a little bit of stress, which is not necessarily the most brilliant thing we've ever done. And sure, Lucy is drinking at the bar, which actually we need to go upgrade Madeline before we fully commit to this. We want to make sure she has level 3 weapons and armor. We're also going to take her to the guild in case she needs skill upgrades. Yeah, that's probably a good thing that we came in here, because Madeline's rolling on full-on level 1 skills, and we don't necessarily... Oh, no, she's not. She's fully upgraded. I'm an idiot. Which is good, because we don't necessarily have the cash to spend on it. Really, we kind of couldn't afford to do the weapons and armor upgrades. We may have broken the budget, folks. We've made a poor spending decision, and now for the rest of the month, we're going to be eating ramen noodles and rice. So get used to it. And I'm not talking about like the good brown rice or anything. I'm talking about just straight up white rice. We're going to be eating it. Just plain boiled white rice. That's what we're going to be feasting on for the rest of the month. 3 shovels. A key. We have 605 gold to spend on torches, and we're going to spend it all. So we have 8 torches. And we are flat-ass, dead-ass, busted broke. So we kind of got to hope this one turns out good, folks. Talk about poor spending decisions. Man, our financial responsibility here is absolutely stupefyingly bad. We've taken our entire life savings and bought scratchers with it in the hopes that we're going to turn a profit, which is not a good thing. You should not do that in general. Typically, it's not going to work out for you. Much like I have a feeling that this may not necessarily work out for us, especially given the layout of this map. Good God, it is horrible. We're going to be spending a long time in this dungeon, covering a lot of ground that we've already covered, and I started out with us in the not right order, compounded by the fact that we were surprised. Yeah, this is already starting out very poorly. Alright, so let's go for the Dazzling Lights. We are not going to stun that guy. No, he's 70% resistance stun. That's just dumb. Let's put some damage on this Fusilier. 9 damage. That's good damage output from little Madeline Usher from the back row. Good open vein. Could Duelist advance. Yeah. Didn't quite get it. Damn, I was hoping to get the kill on the Fusilier. We can Holy Lance, though, and this is certainly going to kill him. Overkill him, in fact, but, you know, them's the breaks. We did get a little bit of stress relief for Sir Roderick, so that's okay. Half-cocked Jack taking a point-blank shot to the face and getting pushed back, which sort of bars him from taking advantage of point-blank shot in return. He's not going to get a kind of respond in kind. Let's go for the weird reconstruction. That undoes most of the damage that half-cocked Jack just suffered. I think we open vein. Let's get some damage started on this big bruiser here. This outlaw now damaging, or now bleeding also for 3 around. We can't dazzling light that guy. We're probably, but let's heal instead. We're probably better off going with the party heal. We have a couple troopers who are injured. A little bit of facial stabbing then from Master Occultist Randolph Carter, or do we go for the vulnerability? Let's go for the vulnerability hex, because this guy's debuff resist is bad. See if we got it. We marked him, but he resisted the debuff. Old Randy taking a shank. Prison style. It's like this guy's been watching on too much Oz lately. Has gone shank crazy. Point blank shot. Sir Roderick resisted the move, however, which is a good thing. Nice smite from Roderick in kind, giving damage for damage. Let's open another vein on this guy. 6 more damage. Did we get the bleed? We did, so he's now bleeding 6 around. That's pretty good output in the bleed department. Wow. Little punishment for Madeline Usher. Haha, you fool! Madeline Usher loves that kind of shit. She would actually pay extra for that kind of treatment. Madeline Usher is into pain. Can't help but feel that we'd be best served by healing. So I'm going to go ahead and heal. A 0-point heal. That was a fantastic use of our turn. I'm glad that we spent the effort and time doing that. That was good move, Randy. That ritual was brilliantly considered and perfectly executed, sir. What god do you worship again? Because I think he is a traitorous cocksucker, and you should perhaps consider investing your time in a more triune god. The big guy now has fatal damage, so he's dead. We are going to get sliced and... oh, fuck. We are going to get sliced and diced. And, you know, it's not the damage so much as it is the stress. The stress is a considerably more significant problem than the damage at this point. It really is. And to help kind of combat that, we're going to go for the self-heal and the stress reduction. So that gets 5 of it back. Big guy's going to drop dead.
Perhaps the turning point.
And I think we can't afford to mess around. We've got to go for the throat on this guy. We've got to get him taken out of commission. He's really kind of piling the damage on our troopers. We don't want to get the bleed spread all over if we can avoid it. Another slice and dice. That one, however, a miss. So let's go for the Divine Grace. Undo the bleed damage that Half-Cocked Jack has suffered on our behalf. We're going to have Sir Roderick once again undo some of his own stress.
Spirits are lifted, and purpose is
We need this to hit, Jack. Attaboy! Alright, so when the chips are down, we can rely on Half-Cocked Jack and a shotgun to the face to get it done for us. And we did pick up a little bit of extra potential food as well, so an ancillary benefit. I gotta say, though, we did get in a fight in the first tile in the dungeon, and it was somewhat savage. So things aren't necessarily going so terribly well. We are going to burn this torch. Hopefully, if we come into another room of enemies, we can surprise them, rather than vice versa. Aha! Take that! Banditos! How do you like getting surprised? Not too well, I should expect. Nice damage output there from old Half-Cocked Jack. Let's go for the Abyssal Artillery and hope for a critical. No, we didn't get it, but that's okay. Those guys are surprised, so they're not going to have a whole lot to bring to the table anyway. I really think a party heal is probably the right move here. Everyone is injured, and we are going to take some damage before this fight becomes winnable. So it's probably in our best interest to just heal everybody up. 17. What's the maximum that could do? 10. Let's go for the Fusilier then. I would prefer to get that guy killed before he has a chance to hit us with another Fusillade. That was not KO damage. Yeah, this is exactly what I was worried about. Wow, the full-on dodge blanket fire. Brilliant performance from our team. Was hoping that would hit and we could maybe kill the Cutthroat before he got a chance to go, but no such luck. A little heal from Madeline Usher. This is going to be a Slice and Dice. Yep. Slice and Dice actually does quite a bit of damage. Don't like that ability. And a Rain of Whips going to follow it. The only real problem with the Rain of Whips is if it criticals. As long as that ability does not critical, it's not too terrifyingly problematic. Little stress relief from Half-Cocked Jack. Little facial stabbing from Randolph Carter. Gonna make sure we do not get... well, I was gonna... thanks, game. Thanks.
Mortality
Yeah.
clarified in a single strike.
I was gonna say, I'm gonna make sure we didn't get slice and diced again, but well, we got slice and diced again, and also I can't help but notice that was a critical slice and dice that jacked Sir Randolph's, or rather Sir Roderick's stress straight up through the fucking roof. So this is going swimmingly. Please kill that guy. Thank you.
As the enemy crumbles.
Those guys really do punch above their weight with the slice and dice. It really is a problematic ability, and we are going to be forced to have Sir Randolph Carter here kind of pull some healing out. Let's go for the open vein. Get a bleed on big guy. The big piggy is bleeding. Kill the pig. Drink its blood. Somebody got hit? Why did we get stressed for that? Just out of curiosity, how was that a stress-related attack? I'm confused. Just kill him.
The bigger the beast.
So the bandits really are proving to be quite stalwart and more than a bit of a problem in this dungeon. They really are somewhat tougher. The last encounters we had, we didn't really come across too much stiff resistance. It was kind of a joke for a veteran mission, but the bandits on this mission proving very much so that a veteran dungeon is for veterans. Yes, let's not linger. I agree, Madeline. If you could stop yakking and stop holding up the party, we would have a considerably lower chance of lingering. So 10 food. That's fantastic, because we're going to eat it all. Some for you, and the rest for Jack. And there we go. Nice little mini feast there. We didn't actually eat all the food, but we ate a goodly portion of it. Enough that I'm comfortable continuing. 3 deeds as well. Excellent. And onward. Let's hope this room will likely have combat. Should have probably strapped the torch. But we got away with it. And we found another beast carcass, which I am also going to medicine. That did nothing, huh? Oh, this... Damn it. So the game, a little bit of playing a bit of trickery there. Kudos game, making me waste a medicinal herb and a potential source of food. Yeah, that was not well done on my part. A thorny thicket, which we're going to burn a shovel to get around. And an extra torch, which we could desperately use since we were a little under-torched on the mission launch. We haven't exactly made back our initial outlay and pricing either. We've been surprised twice. I am a little salty, considering this fact. And a dodge, which honestly was not at all unexpected. If you could push Madeline all the way to the back, that would be good. I prefer having her in the rear. No, that wasn't a sex joke. We don't, you know, Madeline, and that wasn't an anal thing at all. Nicely blown there, sir. God, Jesus Christ, the unintended double entendres are just falling out of my mouth like fucking chiclet teeth that have been punched out by Mike Tyson. I don't know what the hell I'm even saying. We could go for a stun. These guys are not hugely stun resistant, actually. Let's do it. Yep, there we go. So we got a stun on one of the fungus men, and all we could do here is inspiring cry. So let's slop forward, put Madeline back where she belongs in the rear. And I don't say that because Madeline's a girl. I say it because she's lowered to be in the 4th rank position. That's her default starting spot. Randolph Carter also should most definitively not be in the front rank at all. Gonna go for the stun on the other fungus man. This one has a bonus against stun now, so it would not do us any good to try and stun him again. Likely he would just resist. Little facial stabbing, I think, for the stun unit just to put him out of the fight. Successfully completed. You still can't Holy Lance? Why? Because you can't. Okay, there's no one to hit with it. So, continuing disappointment is what we're getting from Sir Roderick Usher. 6 damage and a bleed. How could a fungus bleed? I'm a little confused. Fortunately, Roderick there to finish things off. I suppose a fungus could bleed. They have like some kind of rudimentary sap, I think. I guess you could stab them hard enough to make the sap flow. The sap must flow. It is much like spice in that respect. Let's hope we can get some scouting in this room. We really need to scout. Excellent. Alright, so we're gonna... That scouting right there is gonna allow us to find one of the infected corpses we need and avoid unnecessary combat, which is fantastic. Yeah, we can eat. I could eat. What about you? Yeah, that's good. I'm a little peckish. Who wants to look inside the spooky old stump? That's a job for Randolph Carter. Of course there are treasures hidden behind the web. Wow, a lot of treasure, actually. But, you know, we did have Randolph Carter be the man who looked behind the thing for treasure, and finding treasure is what Randolph Carter does. Better than, honestly, anyone ever. He is a supreme treasure master. I kind of want to get rid of something, but I don't know what to get rid of here. I think 6 crests? Probably that was foolish. It really probably was. Let's burn some torches.
The way is lit. The path
And we will free up at least one more inventory slot here by cleansing what is supposed to be an altar, but doesn't really look much like an altar. Almost enough damage for the kill from a facial stabbing from old Randy Carter there. Not quite enough, but that's going to set us up for a Grape Shot Blast to get the KO. So Half-Cocked Jack doing some quality work for us there. Mr. Slime coming in for the slime delivery service, but failing. And Roderick making sure that the remaining slime does not get a chance to go. Huge stun from Madeline Usher and some much-needed stress relief for the team. So Roderick's still dangerously high in the stress department. I'm considering camping here. Let's take a look at this tent. It's a traveler's tent. So, okay. Yeah, we're definitely camping it. Alright. So let's get camping out of the way. We're going to eat 8 of our available food and get rid of, well, not all of, but at least some of the stress. Everybody's pretty handled in the heal department, so let's get some buffs on. We're going to have Half-Cocked Jack clean his guns. What have you got? Zealous Speech. Everybody heals and reduces their stress by 10. It takes a long time, though. Encourage. Takes considerably less time and reduces stress by 10, which is good. We only really have 2 companions who have a good deal of stress. No, we're not doing that. He doesn't have any stress. Wound Care. Bless. Plus 10 accuracy, plus 10 dodge. Let's give that to Randolph Carter. Then I think, how much time have we got left? We've got enough time to do 2 things. Let's do Bandit's Sense, because it's incredibly useful. And then we will have Sir Roderick in... that's going to be 20 total stress relief. That would be 10. Do we have anybody else who could give... Nope. Alright, so that's... yeah, Zealous Speech is still the best use of our time. It gets us both stress relief and healing. And unfortunately, Randy's just going to kind of have to make do, buck up and deal. He's got as much stress relief as he's going to get. Fortunately, Roderick Usher, accustomed to stress, I mean, he lived in that house a long time before it fell down, so, you know. Thanks, I'm glad we did the Bandit Sense thing that makes us less likely to be surprised, and then we're immediately surprised in an ambush. Wait, we got ambushed but surprised the enemy? How the fuck does that work? Excuse me, game? Could I see your supervisor, please, game? I'm not entirely sure you're fully cognizant of your own mechanics. It seems like if you're attacking me in the night, I should definitely be the one that is surprised. Not really sure what you're shooting for, game, but I think you may have missed the mark. Jacques Hughes for the double KO. So we actually got more stress relief from, as well as treasure, from the surprise encounter. Thank you, Bandit Buff. I was bad-mouthing it, and then mere seconds later, it actually came back to show me why it is awesome. Marching back. Now, we are picking up a little extra stress here, of course, recovering ground that we've already covered. This is not technically backtracking, because, as I've mentioned a couple times, backtracking is doing that, actually walking backwards. But you do still get the random opportunity from stress for injuring every tile, and so covering ground you've already covered is really something you should try to avoid as much as possible. Unfortunately, given the layout of this map, we don't have a whole lot of opportunity to avoid that. We're sort of stuck going the way we're going. Some stashed heirlooms. Probably should not have had Roderick open that crate, because he has the most stress. Nice disarm from Half-Cocked Jack. And actually, let's reorder the party there. And then we will eat. We are down to 8 food, which means we can handle 2 more hunger benefits. Not as many as I would like. Some nice scouting there. So we should have 1 quest objective. We should have to go through... Man, we got to go through 3 fights. Probably 4 fights, actually, to get to these next 2 rooms. That's unpleasant. We are going to burn some torches here. I want to keep the light level as high as possible. We are going to see some combat. I want as much chance to surprise the enemy as I can get my greedy, greedy little hands on. And I'm glad we did, because those slavering ghouls, those guys are no joke. They rack up the stress. They really, really do pump it out. They have a stress attack that is incredibly dangerous. It really adds a lot of stress. We got both the debuff, fantastic, and marking on that unit. I am well pleased with that. We're going to Dazzling Light this grub. Didn't quite get the kill. The grub is surprised, though, so I think we should go for J'accuse! And the grub is now dead. Let's open a vein. This guy can bleed, right? Yeah, he's actually not particularly resistant to bleed either, so bam! He did resist that bleed. I mentioned it, which is why he resisted it, of course. Half-cocked Jack with a quick and greased lightning-like dodge. Customary facial stabbing from Randolph Carter. Stabbing people in the face is what a good Randolph Carter does, and our Randolph Carter is very good at it. Resisted to stun, that's not at all unexpected. This guy's very resistant to stun. 70%. It's going to be pretty tough to get a stun to work on him. This is the attack I was very worried about. As you can see, lapping up the stress, everybody, just like a thirsty dog. That's okay, though, because we're going to get some of that back in stress relief thanks to a massive critical from Randy. Also picking up some more medicinal herbs and gold. We will likely use those herbs on a beast carcass, assuming we can find one. What's our light level at? 76? Let's burn another one. Smoke them if you got them, boys. Smoke break time. We're sparking one up. Alright, so this is the thing we have to cleanse, right? Yes, it is. Alright. So we will pop this medicine on the infected corpse. As much as I would sort of like to try and eat it, I don't really think that would be that healthful. It's infected. We should probably not. I mean, you don't eat mad cow, folks. You don't do that. If a cow is mad, you gently put it down and regret that you were forced to slaughter an animal that you wouldn't... I mean, you were probably going to eat it eventually, because if you have a cow, you're likely a farmer, and that's what farmers do. You're going to eat that cow at some point. It's just, that's the way of the world. Gonna go for a stun rather than a heal here. We are not getting lucky. But as I was saying, you know, if you're a farmer and you have a cow, you're probably going to eat it at some point, so, I mean, you're not going to feel guilty. You're going to be mad that you didn't get the chance to eat the cow, really, is going to be kind of what you're upset about. 17 damage, fantastic output from Half-Cocked Jack. A critical would really have been the only way we could have gotten a kill out of that, but I'm still satisfied with what we got. J'accuse! It's going to get the KO, as well as do an additional 6 damage to the follow-up trooper. Going for the Grape Shot Blast. Big whiff. For some reason, I find it unusually satisfying to Grape Shot Blast these Fusiliers, since they do Grape Shot Blast to us, and it does a shitload of damage and really pisses me off. They're like the most dangerous enemy ever. We're going to stun, try to anyway. We're not... Good God. All of our stuns are getting resisted. Stab someone in the face. Not a critical, which again was going to be probably the only way that was going to generate a kill. J'accuse, though, doesn't let us down. Got the KO there. We're going to take another blanket fire. Jesus Christ. Ridiculous. Not only was that ridiculous because of the just aggregate damage it did, which was a lot, but that was probably 100 total stress. Just absolute and utter fucking nonsense. And suddenly, we're in a very dangerous position. That guy's at Death's Door? Yeah. Him being at Death's Door is going to cause Sir Roderick to freak out and possibly cost us the mission. Or he could just be dead right here. Well, a lucky dodge. We have got to kill these guys. He's bleeding. Yeah, this is very, very unfortunate. Alright, so we got the KO. We've got to get a heal on him. You know what? I'm going to Inspiring Cry Half-Cocked Jack for a 1-point heal. As ridiculous as that may sound, it sort of has to be done. Point-blank shot. We need a kill here. A hit would have been more useful. We got none of the above. We have to group heal to try and undo some of the damage that we got. On the plus side, this guy cannot take another blanket fire from this position. He simply can't do it. Can you Inspiring Cry yourself? Yes. We need the stress reduction, so Roderick is... He's real worried, folks. He's a worrier. That, yeah, it's kind of a drawback. So Roderick, he does tend to worry. That's good. Some stress relief there. I would have liked to probably thrown a weird reconstruction, but I honestly don't think we could afford it at this point. Yeah, you know, I'm not as hopeful as you are, Mr. Narrator. And we now only have enough food to cover one more food prompt. Randy, dig around in the old tree, and you're going to have to come up with something real good. Yeah, 12 crusts is not necessarily what we needed. Going to change the order so we can start things off with a point-blank shot. Which is good, because the towering ectoplasm is a very dangerous foe. Randy, Abyssal Artillery. A critical! Thank you, Randy! Brilliantly done, sir! That was just what we needed at just the right time, actually. Fantastic. We're going to go for a Judgment, because it will get a kill. It's also going to heal Madeline slightly, which is sort of tertiary, but... the killing part was the important part. Also 20 damage when we push the big slime back. That's fantastic. Let's go ahead for the Smite. I just want that Fungal Artillery dead. This guy's going to be considerably less dangerous with the artillery out of the equation. So let's try and pile on some healing while we've got a little room to work. We'll undo some of that bleed damage, as well as pile on a little additional healing for some of our troopers. Can that thing bleed? It's 95% resistant to bleed. Well, let's do damage then. Or we could just wildly miss. Wildly missing. Also a preferred strategy of Half-Cock Jack. Half-Cock Jack endorses wild misses at every opportunity. That's bad. It's going to make more enemies. Just one regular slime. But, oh, he gets to go again, and he's going to make 2 regular slimes. Brilliant. So we've basically made 0 progress now. We're right back to where we started. Also, these small slimes can make one of the big slimes. This really has the potential to ball out of control. They are indeed mounting Randolph Carter. Well observed, sir. I actually wanted to chop at the small slime. Randy's going to have to take a dose of his own medicine. A little weird reconstruction, and... how much health have you got? Nope. We're going to kill the big slime. It's a 4-point heal from Madeline. We really could have used a group heal there, but at this point I really think that was probably the right move. Another dodge. You know, weird. Randy, patched him. Seriously, Randolph? You got to go back to the drawing board and start getting out the books and studying the rituals a little better, because I have to say, Randolph, some of your, ritual magic is proving to be remarkably less effective than we would like. 3 deeds. We need deeds. Jade, I'm less concerned about Jade, actually. We could abandon our torch. You know what? Let's abandon this key. We're going to take the deeds in place of the key, and we'll leave the Jade. There's a case to be made for abandoning the medicinal herbs there, but really I feel that since we have more than a little dungeon left to sort of traipse through, the medicinal herbs, we could likely find a beast corpse, and we're going to need that food. We really are. Because we're now out, so yeah. That's not great. Poke around inside this mummy's guts, Randy. Seriously, Randolph Carter is the luckiest man of all time. He never finds anything that isn't a positive outcome. He always finds the goods. Scouting would have been useful. Jack, gotta, scout, maybe. Nope. That's alright. Yeah, we needed a blighted Randolph Carter. I was just thinking that he would be better if he had some sort of crippling disease. Let's have him poke around in the guts of a mummy. Of course there's treasure inside. Randolph Carter is the man who looked inside of it. He only finds treasure. Yeah, why not? Oh, poisonous sap. Yeah, well. Randolph Carter resisted whatever that was anyway, because as a seasoned planar explorer, Randolph Carter, I mean, that guy's seen some shit. He's been to the Plateau of Lang. He's been to the Outworld. He knows what's going on. And this is end of mission right here. Excellent. So we have found the thing which we have come to find. We are going to cleanse this infected corpse, and we're going to get the hell out of this dungeon. We've pushed our luck to the limit, and as you can see, 92. We were very close to some freakouts. Let's beat feet. No temptation, I repeat, no temptation at all this time to try and buck the odds and sort of challenge my own hubris. I will learn the lesson of Jason and Medea and not press my luck. 11,825 gold out of that mission. That's pretty good. We got so many crests. We're going to come out with a large number of deeds and also a pretty good trinket. Trinket, probably of dubious usefulness, since I never seem to remember that trinkets are a thing that we have that we should possibly ever equip and or use. Also, that one is less good beyond the first round. It's only a penalty. Plus 8 speed on the first round means you're almost always going to go first, which has some intriguing choices. It might be good for Half-Cock Jack, but I think we'll look into that next time we look into trinkets. And we have some troopers quickly approaching rank 4. Roderick, natural swing, plus 5 accuracy. Very, very good bonus. Roderick, after some initial problems and several visits to the sanitarium, has really sort of dealt with his mental health issues and is quickly becoming a productive member of society. I'm quite proud of the little guy. Lucy no longer afraid of Eldritch, which is fantastic. She's out of the hole now, and we're going to have to probably replace her with Madeline Usher. Although I don't think Madeline has any quirks we need to get rid of. Madeline just needs some stress relief. So let's engineer that. And we have a problem in that sort of our B team here of Karen Murphy, Dr. Moreau, I think Django, no, it was Deckard actually is on that. Dr. Moreau is not included on the B team. And Chrysania, put them in the right order. They're sort of our B team, and we've got them sitting at the top end of level 2. Kind of waiting, sort of just biding their time until we can give them a chance to go fight the Swine Prince. The problem is, we haven't really had a chance to go and level up that dungeon to unlock the Swine Prince. I don't think we've ever successfully done a mission there. We've been getting pretty unlucky with the random number generator with regards to what kind of missions are generated. What will you do, Madeline? Well, you can't gamble. You will only drink. All right, then. Well, that's fine. If you'll only drink, we're glad to send you to the bar. So to the tavern, then. Let's see if we can upgrade anything. I got to imagine our blacksmith should have some upgrades potential. We got a shit ton of deeds. Weaponsmithing, probably more useful overall than armor smithing, so we're going to go for that. We'll save our remaining deeds for armor smithing next time. We have some crests and some busts as well, which we can use here, I believe, at the Abbey. Yeah. So we will upgrade the transept. And we have 19. Can't really do anything there. Our sanitarium is pretty well upgraded, though. It's in pretty good shape. I think we'll just hold on to the rest of those crests. And with our upgrades completed, our troopers back, and a little bit of jingle in our jeans, we have managed to restore our empty coffers to at least a reasonable state. I think we'll go ahead and wrap things up. Of course, if you enjoyed the episode, feel free to drop a like down in the comments section. Your support does really mean a lot to us. And if you'd like to see more Darkest Dungeon 3 times a week, every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, consider subscribing as well. We'll see you again soon.